Hi parents and students. My name is Kim Robertson. I am the director of the ASU Three Rivers Career Center. I wanted to visit with you just a little bit about students returning to our campus this fall. First of all, I want you to know that we're very excited to have our students back on campus. We've missed having them fully in the spring, and we look forward to having our new students here this fall as well. I wanted to share a little bit about our plans for mitigating the COVID-19 virus. Some of you have had questions about that, I'm sure, and I want to provide some of that information to put your mind at ease or to clarify some things. First thing is we will follow state guidelines and require all students and faculty to wear a mask while they're here, all times while they're on campus. When students arrive to their classroom, they will have their temperature taken by their instructor, and they will have a hand sanitizer available. We will have disinfectant wipes for them to wipe down their desks and their chairs between classes. We will have plans for the students when they come into the classroom and when they leave the classroom so that they do not have crowding in the doorways, and we will discourage students from congregating in the hallways before class, during class, while waiting to leave class, and for the bus. We will not permit any food to be in the classroom because of contamination reasons. Students will need to eat ahead of coming to our campus. We do have a cafe, and some of the students that were here last year are aware of that and have utilized that. The process will look a little different this year, however. The cafe is offering a phone number. Students can call and order their food and go and pick it up. They will only allow a certain number of students in the bookstore, and this will prevent some of that crowding issue that we commonly have when all the high school students arrive and leave from each shift. So students will need to get with their instructor to find out their process for contacting the bookstore. Students may not be able to take food onto the bus, so they'll need to get with their district about that as well to see what their policy is for that. If they have time before class, they are more than welcome to have food on our campus in the locations that are set forth for them, and after class if they're waiting on a bus or they have a little bit of time before they need to drive their car back to campus, whichever their circumstances entail. We will implement a 6-foot distance where we can. In some of our classrooms it's not possible, and we will spread the students out as far as we can in those classrooms. There will be plexiglass at the front of the classroom between the desk for the instructor and the students. And students will have that barrier if they need to approach the instructor. We also have hands-on training here. As most of you are aware, that our programs are not your traditional general education courses. Therefore, attendance is really important, and hands-on training is a valuable piece to what we do here. We will implement the Department of Health's guidelines in offering students a face mask and a face shield. We will provide one of each to each student. The face shield is only required when a student is working on a hands-on project. And a lot of those projects are group-oriented. So when they're in a group-oriented project, we will minimize the number that are in that group to the best of our ability. Because this is a hands-on facility, we are going to have the goal of getting our students into the shop and into the lab areas as quickly as we possibly can this semester. They have safety things that they have to complete before they can go into the shop, and that will remain. But we will eliminate some things that we usually do in the first of the semester. We're going to move some things around so students can get into that environment as quickly as possible. And we're looking at doing this to minimize the loss of instruction in the lab time should we go back to a fully online requirement by the state. That's not something that we would decide without the governor making those decisions. But if he does make those decisions, then those students will have met much of the hours that they need to, if not all. Because students come to us 5 days a week for 2 hours, they're here 10 hours a week. It's a 3-hour class for some of them are 6 hours, and some of them are 7 hours. But they will meet more than the hours required for college credit when they are here every day of the week. We are going to rotate around the schedules for those that are in a blended environment. So we are going to offer 2 different environments. We'll offer that blended environment as well as in-person fully. So a student can come to us 5 days a week, just like they always do, or we can offer to students who are attending on their campus. They must be attending on their campus in a blended environment to select this option. Then they can do the blended environment with us as well. And what that will entail is that we will have a platform where they will do virtual learning for the theory pieces of their programs. And that theory piece will be posted by the instructor. And in some cases, the instructors may have an opportunity for the students to engage in the classroom in a live setting so that they do not miss out on a live setting environment. But for the most part at this time, we plan to record those theory lessons, post those. And then since we are a hands-on performance-based environment, we have implemented an initiative in our center called Simulated Workplace. And Simulated Workplace allows the students to learn as if it were simulated in their workplace, in their field of study. And so we hold the kids accountable to that employability that you would have in the workplace. And in that employability, that also means attendance. And in attendance, they used to use a thumb-in system to clock in and out as they arrive and as they leave. We will abandon that for right now while we have contamination issues with surface touch. So at this time, that when we take each temperature as a student arrives, that will be what we use for their attendance grade each day. As far as employability, their engagement in the class is very important. If they're not practicing, then they're not getting better at their skill, and then that affects their grades as well. So it's really important that they be here every day. So in that blended environment, they will know the days that the instructor has set for them to be in class and what days they need to be in the lab. That will differ from program to program. Each instructor will set their own program up as the semester unfolds. And so it's up to that student to know what's in that syllabus from their instructor. And we will post the syllabus on our website so that you will have access to that as parents as well and can help guide your students into understanding. We understand this is a new environment. This is unprecedented. And a lot of these kids did not sign up to take an online class. But if they've chosen to do a blended environment at this time, that is an option, but it is not a requirement from us. We will also require that the student that chooses a blended environment have internet access. Without internet access, it's impossible to do the virtual pieces. So if they are able to have internet access and do blended on their high school campus, they should be able to do that here with us as well. So as we take attendance here on our campus and their arrival, we will also be doing attendance in that blended environment. So those videos that are posted by the instructors, our platform will be able to tell the instructor when a student logs in to see their video for the theory class, when they watched it fully all the way through, or if they stopped partway through and started at another time. The instructor can see all of those elements of that attendance. And that is how we will take attendance. There will be a deadline that each theory class must be watched, as well as any assignments. There'll be deadlines for those. And the instructor will have criteria set for those elements in the attendance piece, because the employability skill is part of their grade. It's going to be very important that the students stay in contact with their instructors. We only communicate via email through an ASU Three Rivers email address. So it's important that the students do what they need to at the beginning of the semester, which they will be guided by their instructors to get that all set up. Once they get that set up, they'll do a test run with their email to make sure it's working well. And then that's the environment that they will use to communicate with their instructors throughout the rest of the semester. The same grading criterion will be in place for students that are here fully 100%, or if they're in a blended environment, that will be no different. Students that come to us from their high school are often transported by bus by that school district. Other students drive, and that can be the decision of the school whether they transport all students or they allow some students to drive, and then some schools don't transport, and only the students that that can drive here come to the center. If you are a bus rider, if a student rides the bus here, then they will learn the drop-off schedule, and they will know when they have to be in the class and when they're dismissed to return back to their bus. The students who are riding with another student or driving on their own must have a permission slip to do so. We have permission slips that we give the students at the first of the semester that they need signed by their parent and by the district that says that they have permission by both entities for the student to drive. If they have somebody they're going to transport, then that parent who is the parent of the driver will have to give permission for that student to have another student in their car, as well as the district giving permission for that student to be in the car. Same thing for the passenger, for the one being transported by another student. They have to have permission by their parent and the school district to say that they can ride with another student driver. If we have a student who is going to not drive on a regular basis, but they're going to ride the bus on a normal basis, then we can do that as well. If a student wants to come on a one-time basis to auto, they have maybe a car that they want to do a certain repair job on, they can have permission to drive that vehicle to our campus for a one-time case, and that is a permission slip that they would turn in to their school district for signature and their parent as well. And that is ran completely through the instructor at that point. The other permission slips are kept on file here at the school, so we know who has permission from the district and their parents to be driving. And we have certain areas that the students are allowed to park in, so they will need to get with their instructor that will show them where they need to park as well. So if I have not answered a question that you have had about your student or you as the student attending here, please do not hesitate to contact me. Call me at my phone number, 332-0276. That is a 501 area code, 501-332-0276. Or you can email me at K, that's the initial K, Roberson, Roberson, there is not a T, at asutr.edu. Ashley Griesmer also works with me here in the administrative office, and you can contact her as well. Her last name is spelled Griesemer. Her email address is agriesmer, again that's Griesemer, at asutr.edu, and her phone number is 501-332-0243. That number is also the main number for the office, so if you want to document that number so that you have it throughout the school year, please do so. Students will check in and out of that office if they need to leave or if a parent needs to pick them up. That is where they will check in and check out for being late. We do not take late notices from doctor's appointments or from parents. That goes through the school district. We contact the school district and they are notified when a student is late or when a student is absent or if a student leaves early. So we do have to have that documented in our office, but we do not need those notes. Now, the exception to that is the instructor may want that information because, again, we are a simulated workplace environment, and so they may require a doctor's note for excuse from class for some of their sick time. They acquire sick time, and they may acquire vacation time, and so they get rewards, not vacation time from school, but vacation time from the coursework that they're doing and things like that. So that is important that they ask their instructor if they can turn those things in, if that will impact their grade. So if you have any questions about anything that I've discussed with you, please don't hesitate to call, don't hesitate to email. We are so excited to start this school year and to have our students back on this campus. Thank you so much for your time.